and I made a mistake because I think I owe someone an apology, and I think that person I owe an apology to is Arnold, because I constantly stated that Ronniecoleman was the greatest bodybuilder ever, and when I
E aí, fãs de bodybuilding, eu sou o Roger e no vídeo de hoje eu vou deixar aqui para vocês um trecho legendado de uma entrevista em que o Jay Cutler comenta sobre a sua opinião de qual é o bodybuilder mais relevante, o melhor bodybuilder de todos os tempos, e eu tenho certeza que a resposta vai surpreender a muitos de vocês. Então, bom, esse vai ser um vídeo muito interessante, e se você já curtiu a ideia desse vídeo, eu peço que você deixe o seu like, se inscreva no canal. E se você quiser ajudar o canal de uma forma mais direta, o YouTube disponibilizou a ferramenta Valeu, que é basicamente onde você pode fazer uma doação em forma de comentário. Você pode até pedir uma sugestão para que eu possa trazer aqui no canal de algum trecho de uma entrevista que você queira ver legendado ou qualquer coisa do tipo. Você pode fazer isso a partir de R$2, então se você quer ajudar o canal dessa forma mais direta, você também pode fazer isso. E bom, é basicamente isso. Fiquem com esse trecho que está muito interessante.
I think realistically, you know, when I talked about the greatest bodybuilder ever, people have their opinions on, okay, is it just on the stage or is it off the stage, and how they present themselves and what they give back to the business. And we've gone through many Mr. Olympias. I mean, starting with Schwarzenegger, we talk about the standout guys, right? The guys that won multiple titles, or the guys that were publicized the most. You know, you had Arnold and Sergio, and then you had, you know, you talk about Dorian Yates, you talk about Lee Haney. Lee Haney was an 8-time winner. He was the first guy to break Arnold's record. And then Ronnie came up and tied Lee Haney's record, going for number 9 when I actually won the first Mr. Olympia of my career, 2006. And then you had someone, Phil Heath, take over after me, you know, 4 titles, Dexter Jackson in between, you know, and all of a sudden now Phil wins 7, going for number 8, and he loses to Sean Roden. And now we've witnessed the next Mr. Olympia. And if you really look at the big picture, Arnold really propelled bodybuilding and put it on the map. And he did that not only stepping on the bodybuilding stages, but something that a lot of us aspire to do at certain times. But Arnold went and did all this beyond bodybuilding. There's always the question that comes about on who's the greatest ever, and I made a mistake because I think I owe someone an apology. And I think that person I owe an apology to is Arnold, because I constantly stated that Ronniecoleman was the greatest bodybuilder ever. And when I said that, I was thinking of, you know, the physique as far as pushing limitations. So in question, what makes someone the greatest bodybuilder ever? There's a lot of variables to it. I think a lot of people have different opinions. And when I would constantly sit there and say Ronniecoleman, arguably the greatest of all time, I try to put that in there, but a lot of times I say the greatest of all time, which is Ronnie. You know, I was kind of looking at myself, challenging him through all the years, and kind of, I think, more looking at tooting my own horn. Like, I beat, you know, a guy that would consider the greatest ever. Like I always said, not at his prime. Okay, so don't mistake that I'm sitting here saying, hey, I was a better bodybuilder beating the greatest guy. You know, I think he was coming closer to the end of his career. When I actually did beat him, he was over 40. So
yeah, please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out. Yeah, please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt. Yeah, please say any negative thoughts I pop off when I hear people say I cannot.